and have a good weekend. Thank you. Hi, everybody. This is Doug Brunke, and yeah, I'm having a bad day and I'm having a good day. So a lot of, for some reason, our daughter and grandson had been sick over the last month, and my wife and I were marveling how we had avoided it. How could we're normally, I don't normally, but at least my wife always gets sick, and she wasn't sick, and I haven't been sick. And then finally, our daughter having trudged through whatever she was doing for 3 weeks, now it seems like both of us have gotten something the last few days. So, but the good news is there's a lot of good things going on. And I was commenting before the recording started that we've been slogging away and with a dream of being a better organization and connecting people in ways that nobody else has imagined, and doing much more events and continuing to build out around the world. But to do that, we need a system to be able to support that. And honestly, it's been horrific the last few months in terms of getting that to work. But finally, the last few weeks, it started to come together. And then now we're seeing kind of the fruits of of the vision, and a lot of hard work and a few tears, and we're there. And our members are amazing, and so many of them are successful. There's a lot of things going on that are bad on the nonprofit side in Washington, D.C. This is not a good time to be, and a lot of different things have been cut. So I'm not to say that the world is rosy. There's a lot of real tough things going on right now, and we're hearing about some of that. But there's also a lot of opportunity, and one of the great opportunities is in semiconductor. And oh man, what a week in Phoenix with Semicon West. Highest attendance at Semicon West for 18 years, the first time in Phoenix. And that's a great way for Phoenix to get introduced to the franchise. And then we had an event on Monday that was pretty darn good. A lot of folks there. And I thought it was really well put together by Eduardo and Marcos, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about that today. And I'd like to talk a little bit more about, like, what's it going on with all of you? What kind of help do you need? What are you seeing in the market? And I also have some things, would love to hear your thoughts and opinions about the coming months and years in terms of some of the stuff that we're doing. I see both Eduardo and Marcos are in the room. So, hey guys, how are you? You want to give a little bit of a recap of what happened this week?
Sure. I'll let Marco start.
Marcos, hero. We didn't put
say,
you on our shoulders and carry you around the room at the end. We should.
I was gonna have Eduardo go first, but anyway, since both of us are Eduardos, it doesn't really matter which one. So last week on Monday, we had this wonderful event. We had a lot of participation from organizations from Mexico. The last week, in case you guys didn't know much about it, it was the week of Semicon West. Today I saw in the newspaper an insert by Arizona Commerce Authority, and they were highlighting, the show and also the importance of semiconductor for Phoenix. And probably the whole event, if you discount entertainment and sports, was the biggest business trade show in Arizona. And again, if you discount like cars and horses and polo and some other things that are borderline, could be borderline business, you're buying and selling cars and things like that. But this one was purely high tech and business, very global. We had participation from people from Korea, Japan, Taiwan, obviously Mexico. We had a large presence from Mexico. There were about 4 or 5 different organizations There were about 4 or 5 different organizations from Mexico that exhibited at the trade show. They were specifically from states. There was Sonora. They had 2 representations, Chihuahua, the state of Mexico, and I think I'm missing one. I think Baja California also exhibited. But there were also a couple of industrial parks that were showing at Semicon West. So we had 2 main panelists. There was a lot of people that participated, but there were 2 main panels at the Monday event, and it was branded Global Chamber. So thank you, Doug, for giving us the opportunity and for hosting, basically. I was with Global Chamber along with Thunderbird ASU, and we had a panel of international experts, and then we had a panel of Mexican groups or agencies that talked to the audience. So I don't know if I got anything, Eduardo.
No, you hit everything. Yeah, I think it's good. I talked with Steven Silstra from the Arizona Tech Council. When was it? 2 days ago at Tucson, they had an event over there, and he was telling me that the Semicon in Phoenix brought in like 150% more people than the San Francisco one. It opened it up to like 40% more exhibitors. They brought in almost 40,000 people. So I think our event was a great opportunity to tie it into that event because we had a great turnout. There's a lot of interest in the semiconductor industry. It looks like we are going to end up having the Semicon West here again in a couple of years, but then it seems like there's a high probability of moving that event to Phoenix for every year. I think there's a lot of business opportunity in semiconductors. There's the supply chain of semiconductors is pretty extent, and there's a lot of companies touching the product along the way. So there's a lot of products and services that maybe our members and companies from Arizona can take advantage of it. And Marcos and I and other people are looking on where the opportunity lies in that industry, among others, right? I think we should start thinking of doing maybe a follow-up event, probably next year, probably alongside, well, of course, we have the semiconductor event that Doug does every year in, is it February or March, Doug?
February. Yeah, February here.
So we can build on that.
Yep.
And follow up there, and maybe probably June, or maybe some other month that we can think of just do a follow-up event again. Yeah, I think it was great. I think the Alma suggested the other day to do a in-person happy hour global chamber end of year type of thing. I think it's a great idea. So we'll talk some more and see how we can do that and when. So thank you, Alma, for putting that forward. I think it's a great idea. And yeah, thanks. And yeah, I mean, like Marco said, there was a lot of presence from Mexican states. I think we should build on that. Chihuahua, Puebla, Jalisco, Baja. I believe somebody told me that the Secretary of Economy from Monterrey was here. I didn't meet him. And certainly there were other people from Mexico interested. So there should be more opportunities coming our way regarding Mexico interested parties in this industry.
Yeah. I was going to say, Eduardo, you mentioned that there was a 40% increase over last year. And I talked to different people about why there would be more people coming from Phoenix than to San Francisco. And in reality, I mean, even though they are close together, but San Francisco is not necessarily Silicon Valley, and it's not, and it's not necessarily a hub for semiconductor manufacturing. I mean, there's a lot going on there, but everybody's already there, so you don't need to travel to talk to people. And here in Phoenix, you know, it kind of concentrates everybody at one point. So that's it kind of holds them captive if you want. And doing anything, if we were gonna do anything next year in San Francisco, I think we need to start planning ahead of time, because the logistics will be very different. We didn't have to struggle that much with space or cost for space or anything like that. That would be completely different in San Francisco. Or maybe the right place to do that could be San Jose, Santa Clara, basically Silicon Valley, because that's where the action could really take place rather than San Francisco, assuming we do it a day before the whole show starts.
Yeah, I don't know, Doug, what you think, but I think it could be a good idea to partner with the chapter over there and put this forward to them to see how we can do that.
That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that. That's really good.
Yeah.
Alma, what did you think? Were you able to participate in the rest of the week? And how about, I know you were at our event.
No, I was not able to go to the actual event, but because I was out of town, but I did participate on Monday and I thought it was a great event. Good turnout, and I think next time we just have to have more people. Let people know that we're doing it, I think, at a bigger scale, and I think it would be a great event that we would probably have it for the whole day. Some events in the morning and then some events in the afternoon. And I think as we move forward, we'll probably have the opportunity to have that event be bigger.
Yeah, that makes sense. I got a lot of positive feedback about it, about the size and the quality of the people.
Yes.
I got some input, and I think we need to process it in terms of being more engaging, because we were 2:30 to 5:30 and without a break, and there was mostly presentations. There wasn't a lot of interaction. It was mainly stuff coming at people. And so how do we create an event that's better at interaction? The best example of that we can do it, I think, is the Women in Global Leadership event that we did in August. Carol Colombo was a great facilitator, and she not only had a variety of people and mixed it up, but she got the audience involved at least, and it wasn't as long. It was a shorter couple hours. Still, it was a good long, and it was more interactive and more engaging than what we were able to do with the Semicon. So I think going forward, it's something to think about for the Semicon Summit in February, is how do we get the right people in the room? How do we talk about the right things? And how do we engage with people so that we not only keep them interested, but they're connecting with each other? You may remember during the one this time, there was some time when I suggested that we take a break, and everybody just spontaneously, took a break, and then it was impossible to get everybody back, in any reasonable amount of time, because you're hooked. But that's good. It meant that there were some interesting people in the room, and people were connecting, and we need to build that in to the schedule. I think we did the right thing this time by getting those people and filling the schedule fully like we did. Next time, it's just something to think about how we structure that. Well, I think we can do both. What do you think?
I agree. I think Maybe that interaction after each one of the sessions and break out into like the setup, maybe do tables where people can, I don't know, have different conversations regarding that specific presentation, and then a break, and then you come back and go on to the next one and do breakouts so that people can communicate and have a conversation about what was presented, and not wait until the end to try to find people or try to connect with someone. And I guess just doing it right after each presentation would maybe help everybody connect. That's just my 2 cents.
Sure. That makes sense. Eduardo and Marcos, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, it's an art to maneuver people around a room after breaks. Yeah,
Well,
got to
if
keep
we
the
give them enough
attention.
time and we structure it so that they realize there's content periods and then there's networking periods,
Yeah,
if you're clear about that ahead of time and you've got the time marked, it's much easier to manage. We didn't do that because we pretty much knew this was chock full of, no breaks, I think we can do both next time.
I think it was a
yeah,
great event. We just need breaks, and a little bit more networking while the event is going on so that you don't wait until the evening. And also have more women because
yeah, yeah. In my panel there was a woman, so a woman.
yes.
But yeah, I agree with you. We should get more. And also, I think we should give the microphone only to the people in the program, because then it gets extended and they take longer. I know we should share and have as much people participate, but limiting people to 1 minute is very hard. So maybe probably limiting the people will be easier.
Yeah, that makes sense. Marcos, you're okay with women, right? It's just there's a lot of men in semiconductor, isn't there?
Yeah.
So
Oh, so
he doesn't have an opinion about that.
yes, I
Or
have it. Yes.
he stepped away. No worries.
Yeah.
Let's keep going because Dave Binsfeld is here and he was there as well.
Yeah.
Dave, are you able to speak, and what's going on? What did you think of the event Monday, and what else is going on?
It was great, but yeah, my brain was tired. uh, um,
Right.
there, I mean, there was so much good content, but yeah, too much of it. But I didn't do any work around organizing it, so I'm certainly not going to criticize any at all. Um, so yeah, well, you guys obviously have already discussed that, so I'll leave that be. But I did have a guest with me, and that's what I wanted to kind of share with the group. My firm is Gallagher now that I've sold my agency, and we're now the second largest brokerage in the world because we just acquired another entity called Assured Partners, um, and they had about 10 to 11,000 associates. And I'm sharing that because they have a pretty large office in Scottsdale, and I roundabout became acquainted with one of the people there who's he's like in his fifth year in the insurance industry, so he's still new, but he is an engineer. He was with Honeywell before he joined the insurance industry, but he's from Colombia, and I have very much I'm very much active in growing my clientele in the multinational space and certainly Latin America. But I don't speak Spanish, and other than a little teeny bit of Mexican. Um, so clearly he's fluent. So I'm really excited because I think we're going to collaborate with each other. I've got the 40 years of experience and know-how, and he's got the understanding of fluency in Spanish and understanding more of the culture than I do. So I'm really excited about that. His name is Andres Camacho. We've just met and kind of agreed to work together on this type of stuff, but I'll be wanting to bring him around to events more often and actually meet up with one-on-one lunches with people. And so yeah, that's really kind of a boost to work on something like that. I think y'all know David Farka, so we're gonna have a meetup with him. I had a meetup with him recently, and he has an interesting need of performance bonds in foreign countries. So when they're doing the arms deal, they have to post a bond of a certain percentage of the contract amount, and um, so I'm in the process of exploring whether through our international network of brokerages, I can get bonds placed in those countries because they have to be issued in the country where the transaction is happening. So I can't personally do that, but I have a network of brokers around the world who we're contractually related to. So that's a fun little project to see if I can solve a problem for David on that angle. I think that's it. That's me.
Sounds good. Great impact, input on that. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming out. And Andres Camacho. So we'll keep an eye out for him as well. I'll find him on LinkedIn.
Sure. And yeah, the firm's called Assured Partners. So if you'll know you found the right one.
Are they sort of like a Clements where they maintain their name, but they're basically a Gallagher company?
No, they will assume the Gallagher name.
They will. Okay.
Yeah, it takes time. I mean, to digest an acquisition that huge is a lot of work, and it will take probably within a year you'll start seeing them starting to label themselves Gallagher.
I see. Okay. Sounds good. Before we kind of circle back and get any additional input or thoughts, Ian Richard is in the room, and I don't know if Ian, you are available to speak, but he's someone that I had interacted with, and you've got some unique needs. And are you able to chat about your situation and what you're looking to do?
Yeah, mostly listening in today. But yeah, I'm exploring some challenges around vetting and qualifying buyers for companies who are exporting, especially to Latin America and other regions. So basically looking to connect with export managers or freight forwarders or anyone dealing with this kind of vetting process. So yeah, let me know if you know anyone that's in that space that I should talk to.
Through what? So I mean, I don't think, or are you a member of Global Chamber, either individually or as a company?
I joined with the student membership. So
okay.
Yeah, right now I'm basically running a international trade club at Thunderbird in downtown Phoenix.
Okay. So which year are you in? When do you graduate?
Graduating next year, so I have about 7 months left at this point.
Through the master's program?
Yeah, master's program. So okay. Yeah, my background originally is in software engineering. So I worked in Silicon Valley for about 7-8 years.
Okay.
Before moving to Phoenix. And yeah, international trade's always been something I've been very interested in, which is kind of how I ended up going to Thunderbird and starting this trade club and looking for business opportunities as well. Oh, I think, Doug, are you muted?
Yeah. Yeah, my wife was asking me a question and probably wasn't appropriate for for you. So I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile, and you can find Ian, experienced software engineer and tech lead, master global management candidate, and he's got the proverbial picture of Phoenix, which I haven't been to that location. It's a great location. For Phoenix. I don't know who took that picture, but they should get an award. But definitely, it's sort of like I was in Vancouver, British Columbia a week and a half ago, and I had Vancouver pictured completely differently, like snow-capped mountains and sort of Salt Lake, all of this kind of happening. And I mean, it's a beautiful place, but it's wasn't anything like what I imagined. And that picture that you have on your profile is kind of a little bit glamorized picture of Phoenix. Nonetheless, those of us that love Phoenix appreciate the colors and the sunsets and the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Are you from California? Are you from here?
Yeah, I'm from the Bay Area originally, so
Yeah.
a little bit inland though, from San Francisco.
Okay.
But my wife grew up over in Scottsdale, so
Okay.
she convinced me at some point. We were living in San Francisco and just spending a boatload of money on on rent every month, and her family and friends are all here, so it just kind of was a no-brainer.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Ian or thoughts? Yeah.
So what kind of project? I'm sorry, what kind of project were you interested in or in pursuing?
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing two things right now. So one of them is I'm running this international trade club at Thunderbird, and so we're basically hosting events, trying to bring in experts to speak on different things. And then I'm also exploring opportunities with software and automation within international trade, just with people I've been talking to, and something that I've gotten some feedback and validation on so far is kind of the challenge around vetting and qualifying international buyers when you're exporting, when you get all these inbound requests from people. So that's something that I'm exploring right now, and just kind of looking to connect with export managers, especially who deal with this kind of challenge every month, or anyone else that's kind of in the thick of that vetting process.
Do you already know Dwight Winkler?
Who is it?
Dwight Winkler?
No, I haven't connected with him.
Okay. Well, he's a Thunderbird grad and he mentors Thunderbird students, and he's probably the best person you'll ever meet on export financing. But anything related to that side of things, there's nobody better. But he certainly knows a lot of those other areas and people to connect to. So probably he's somebody, and I can just make a quick introduction for you.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I just wrote his name down.
And
are you familiar with
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Are you familiar with trade credit insurance?
Trade credit insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're talking about tools like Allianz, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Allianz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know French, Dave. What are you talking about?
I do not know French.
Allianz. Allianz.
Allianz.
Yeah.
Trade credit insurance does a ton of vetting. That's really what, their real product is not so much the insurance. It's it is, but it's their knowledge of global knowledge of who's worth insuring and who's not. If you wanted to meet somebody from that field, I probably could arrange an introduction and it could be interesting for your club as well, perhaps. I don't know. If it is, let me know. If not, not offended.
Yeah, that definitely sounds interesting. I'll follow up with you after this meeting.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet.
Yeah, we certainly have lots of different trade experts. One of the people at that event on Monday was Deep Sengupta, who is very specifically one of the top compliance experts, import and export compliance. He happened to be visiting from San Francisco, but he was in the audience. He was our former Global Chamber San Francisco Bay Area chapter chair, and a great guy. But within the Phoenix chapter, there's all sorts of people who are experts on trade. So definitely connect in and learn more about some of the folks that are around.
Yeah, sounds great. And I think something that we were thinking about doing on kind of the longer time horizon is setting up some kind of trade expo, because we have a lot of students master students who are from other countries and have products that they want to either bring into the US or other places. And we thought it might be interesting to set up some kind of trade expo where we have all these people set up booths with their product, and we can bring in some outside, like some distributors or buyers from Phoenix and surrounding area, and just kind of create an interesting networking opportunity there.
I have an idea for you. So,
Yeah.
so it might be tricky, but we do an event called Grow Globally Fair, which is intended to be all of the different global resources all together in one place. And so it was one of the original before Global Chamber events that we did, where we had the lawyers that do international and the bankers and anybody that's doing any aspect of global business would have a table, and then exporters can walk through and see like what's going on. What are all the resources together in one place once a year? And so during COVID, that ended, or at least it got suspended and it became virtual, and it's hard to do virtually. You have to do some special stuff, and we never did all the special stuff. So we kind of stopped it, but I would like to do it in 2026. I committed to do it to myself anyway, and I haven't proposed this to the advisory board, but right now for April, which why I say it's tricky is given the college schedule and the May finals and things like that. Maybe we do something in early April. Let's say we do our part and you bring in that other piece and tack in the students. That could be a really cool event because it'd be all the resources and it'd be kind of all these different businesses too. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I love that idea. And yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to help with the other aspects that you mentioned too.
Okay.
So yeah, bringing in the students, I think would be amazing, and that would be relatively easy to do. So, but I'd also be happy to help with anything else.
Okay.
Set up an event like that. I think that would be amazing.
Okay. It was always one of our best events. We used to do them at Sky Song, and we have done one, I think, at Thunderbird in the forum and into the lobby. And it just, probably because of my lack of preparation, I didn't pull it together like I normally would. But there are a couple of them in the past, and probably Eduardo, maybe Marcos, you've been to one or two. Those are. There are a couple of them have been pretty legendary in terms of the size of the number of people and the interactions that happen. It's at least I get excited because there's like everybody together and it's just a lot of fun. So, Eduardo, you've been to one of those, right? Dave has been to one of those for sure.
I've been to a few before COVID. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So that's a great idea. Yeah. It would be good to put it in the calendar again.
Cool. Yeah, I think the Semiconductor Summit, February 19th, do this one in early April. Got planned for Export League in June and the Women in Global Leadership in August, and then probably the International State of the Metro in October. So that would be every even month, every other month doing something big in person. That kind of is the whole kind of gamut there. And then if we could do that holiday thing that we talked, that Alma had suggested in December of this year, then we'd basically be doing every even month, we'd be doing some sort of a nice in-person event interspersed amongst all the virtual stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd also like to do an awards program, a virtual awards program. We did one 2 or 3 years ago, but I'd like to revive that. We said every other year we would do it, and I think it'll be 3 years if we do it in 2025. But I'll pull some information together, Eduardo, about that. And also just to lay it all out, is one other idea that came up between Chicago and New York. There was a competition between the cities for Global Chamber where it's like, who has a better holiday party, that kind of stuff. So then the advisory boards wanted to get together, Chicago and New York, but there's a lady on the New York advisory board who's on the LA Melanie Fox, and she said, "What about LA? That should be involved." So now we got the three biggest cities, and of course, then you think about Phoenix. Maybe we should do that. And when I talked to the Denver chapter, their advisory board, they wanted in, and so it started to kind of get a little bit of out of hand in terms of. But it would be cool to do a virtual meeting with the advisory boards for all, like the U.S. chapters, and because it's Phoenix is 50 and New York is about 25 or 30, and LA is 30, and San Francisco is 25. And so you've got some really high-powered folks. The Denver one is really amazing. There's some really high-powered folks in some of those. So anyway, we're putting together a virtual meeting in December, so stay tuned for that. But it doesn't take the place of an in-person meeting. And so, Alma, are you okay? Or would you be okay with helping to pull that together or to organize it? Or
Yeah, definitely.
okay,
Happy to help.
I'll circle back with you and get your thoughts, and we'll maybe pull a team together.
Sounds great.
Shane Jacobs was leading the events committee, and he kind of still is, but he's really busy right now with his new role. He's not only changed jobs within Safeguard, but he is a professor, and he's doing some teaching right now. So he's pretty stretched. So that leaves us 5 or 10 minutes. If we don't need to use the time, but is there anything else that anybody wants to talk about? Any needs that you have? Anything else that is on the platter on the global side of things? Anything else, Eduardo, you want to accomplish by the end of the year?
Probably get one additional contract for my business will be great.
Hey, there you go.
No, I think we did good this year. We should get on the planning for next year. I think doing the semiconductor event was a great idea, and thank you, Marcos. Really appreciate you proposing that event to us and helping us organize it. I think it turned out pretty good.
It was beautiful. And did it get you any closer to Collectron, to getting that deal done, or not?
Oh yeah, I did. I did. Yeah, thanks.
Maria Elena, she's quite a force.
Yeah.
There's on the Global Chamber LinkedIn, the Global Chamber Phoenix LinkedIn page. Oh no, it's on a Facebook page where she gave a presentation about Sonora. So check that out. Marcos, you're over in Facebook quite a bit. So the Maria Elena gave I thought, a really good summary of business between the U.S. and Sonora. So, Marcos, anything else from you, or are you still there? Might be gone. Okay. Well, Eduardo, any final comments before we close the room?
No, looking forward to that end of year happy hour event. Looking forward to organize it with Alma. Thank you, Alma, again. And thank you, Doug. I think Ian idea of partnering with us to do some trade events. Earlier today, I had a call with someone that mentioned that there's a legal option to import products into the U.S., reducing the tariffs. It's called something like first sale strategy. So I'll look into that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And then I think we also have some time set up to talk next week.
Sounds good. Yeah.
The one of the things about that Grow Globally fair that's cool is that it allows companies that are doing international business and resources. And I was just looking for the name of the bank. It's called CTBC. That's that fellow named Saul that you know, Eduardo.
Yeah.
So so he and I have talked, and he introduced me to the big boss in Los Angeles. And so the three of us are talking about various things, but the Grow Globally Fair would be an example of something that they could participate in, have a table, you know, those kinds of people could be sponsors of the overall event. So we'll figure something out.
And the big boss, I think, is a woman, right?
Yeah. She, Angela, or Victoria is her name.
Yeah.
So he connected me with her, and we're going to try to do something in Los Angeles as well. So, well, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend. Thanks for jumping in today. Reach out anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope
Have a nice weekend.
Thank
Hope
you.
you feel
Bye.
better, Doug.
Well,
Thank you.
Bye.